And another exciting part of our reading challenge and our efforts to help children enjoy learning is a series of books that the county has started called The Adventures of BernCo Bernie. Have any of you read the first BernCo Bernie book? Excellent. So you have seen this. You know who BernCo Bernie is, right there. And these books, a series of books, BernCo Bernie is Bernalillo County's mascot. So he's the animal, the spokesperson that we use to help teach people about Bernalillo County. Hello. And so we have been very lucky to have local writers and local artists produce these books for us. So this is our second book, and you are the first people in all of the world to see this book, other than the people who wrote it, did the pictures, and actually printed this book. So you guys are really lucky. You are the first people in the entire world who are going to see this book and have it read to you. So I get the privilege of reading this book. And all of our BernCo Bernie books talk about places that you can go very close to your homes here in Bernalillo County, places that you can explore and get to know, some of our beautiful open spaces that are wonderful places to go and learn. So this is a book. This is the second adventure of BernCo Bernie. It's called Another Day to Play. How many of you speak Spanish? You read in Spanish? Excellent. Well, you can read this book in both English and Spanish because it starts with the English and then it has the Spanish right next to it. So I think you can have the opportunity to do both. And so I'm going to read in English because I'm a much better reader in English than I am in Spanish, but you can do both. So this book is called Another Day to Play, the second adventure of BernCo Bernie. So, tap, 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 tap. Mr. Roadrunner perches on the windowsill, tapping at the glass with his beak. Psst, Bernie, wake up. It's a beautiful day. Hot air balloons are flying, and we have more adventures to go on. Well, good morning, Mr. Roadrunner. Glad to see you've come back. And with a whip of her wool and a stroke of her toothbrush, BernCo Bernie was out the door. So who do you think is BernCo Bernie? The sheep, the lamb. And Mr. Roadrunner is the Roadrunner. What part of Bernalillo County would you like to explore today? Said Bernie. It's breakfast time, Bernie, and I'm starved. I've been dreaming all night about the growers market. We can find something healthy and locally grown right here in Bernalillo County. Without hesitation, Mr. Roadrunner hops atop Bernie's shoulders to navigate the way. Can you smell that green chili roasting over there? The two head over to a beautifully decorated booth run by Tino, a local farmer. Welcome, you two, exclaims Farmer Tino. Please come over and enjoy a healthy breakfast with us. We have fresh eggs from my uncle's chickens, tamales made by my grandma, and I'm cooking some of the vegetables I grew on my farm. Wow, this is delicious, says Bernie. Yes, Mr. Roadrunner agrees. What is that truck? Asks Mr. Roadrunner. Well, that's the mobile market, Farmer Tino explains. Every weekend, the driver meets us here for pickup and then takes the vegetables we grow to people in the community who don't have access to our wonderful growers markets. Do you think the driver might give us a ride? Asked Bernie. I've got somewhere I'd like to take Mr. Roadrunner. So Farmer Tino motions the driver to stop. And after a quick introduction, Bernie and Mr. Roadrunner hop in the van and down the road they go. Next stop, says the driver, Bakeki Open Space. They arrive at a beautiful scenic spot nestled along the bosque. It's bustling with people, all folks who have come out to enjoy some free physical activity in the beautiful morning sun. Thank you, Bernie. Thank you, Bernie calls out to the driver as they part ways. Mr. Roadrunner, today is Family Fun Day. Follow me over to the Environmental Education Building and I'll show you what it's all about. As the two excitedly enter the building, they spot Educator Cass, a friendly woman helping some children learn to use a microscope. Hey, Bernie, she says. Hello, Educator Cass, says Bernie. This is my friend, Mr. Roadrunner. Can you show him what you do here? It's not so much what I do, explains Educator Cass. It's really about what you do. There are so many interesting things to learn at Bikeki. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Educator Cass grabs a backpack and brings the two over to an activity station. You see, Mr. Roadrunner, we lend you a nature pack, which could be a tracking pack for tracking animals, or in this case, a bird watching pack for identifying some of your feathered friends here. Go on, look inside. Now take this with you out into our wetlands, grasslands, and the arboretum. In it, there's a field guide, activity cards, and most importantly, binoculars. As you look through the binoculars to look for birds, you can use these tools to identify the species. If you find a feather or another clue, bring it back with you and we can look at it together under the microscope. This is a free, fun, and education experience that the whole family can enjoy together. The best part is, it also gets you out exercising in our beautiful space and keeps you healthy while you're at it, Educator Cass says. Wow, Educator Cass, said Mr. Roadrunner. I wish I'd known about this a long time ago. I'd be here every week. Are you ready to hit the trail, Mr. Roadrunner, asked Bernie, as she grabs the pack and heads out through the pecan grove. I've got the binoculars. No sooner does Mr. Roadrunner begin looking for low-flying birds in the brush when he spots something rustling on the ground. Look, there are cranes and ducks and painted turtles, exclaimed Mr. Roadrunner. Yes, said Bernie, they all live here among the trees and wildflowers planted by children to help keep New Mexico clean and beautiful. Say, says Bernie, this reminds me of another place I know. Take me there, Bernie, and I'm sure I will love it, says Mr. Roadrunner. Will you two run along now, says Educator Cass. I'll see to it that the nature pack gets returned to the Environmental Education Building. Until next time, says Bernie as she leaves with Mr. Roadrunner. She glances over at him with excitement. I can't wait to show you what's ahead. Soon, the two arrive at the UNM North Golf Course. Mr. Roadrunner, I wanted to bring you here to the golf course trail to see where I exercise all the time. Let's take the walking trail around the golf course. As they set off on the trail, BernCo Bernie spots a familiar pair. She lets out a bah with a great big smile. Hello, Mr. Dog and exerciser Linda, she says. Mr. Roadrunner, this is where a lot of people come to exercise. Look at all the dogs on leashes and their owners and the joggers too, says Bernie. The trails are wide and the trees are shady and the scenery is beautiful. It's a great way for people and pets to enjoy the outdoors together in the heart of Bernalillo County. In the distance, BernCo Bernie and Mr. Roadrunner see a hot air balloon preparing to land in a vacant lot. Come on, Bernie, if we keep going a bit further, I bet we can see where they land. BernCo Bernie and Mr. Roadrunner join the chase crew as the balloon lands, and they help pack up the balloon. See the picture? Up walks the balloon pilot, Troy, with an empty soda can and candy wrapper in his hand.
I watched a lot of balloons outside.
It's fabulous, isn't it? They're so beautiful. So BernCo Bernie and the Roadrunner get to see some right where they were going, didn't they? And then up walks the balloon pilot, Troy, with an empty soda can and candy wrapper in his hand. Nice to meet you, Bernie and Mr. Roadrunner, says the balloon pilot, Troy. Thank you for your help. Did you happen to see a trash can over there on the walking trail? Yes, I did, said Bernie. As we were landing, I overheard you talking about how beautiful it is here at the UNM North Course. It's important to us to help keep our Bernalillo County open spaces clean and put litter in its place. It's also important that we pick up after our pets too, says Bernie. After all, there is no poop fairy. I think we all can learn from this and start doing our part to maintain the natural beauty we're so lucky to have here, Mr. Roadrunner says as he digs in with his beak to pick up a piece of trash. We will do our part to leave this field even cleaner than when we found it, says Bernie. The group finishes a quick trash pickup, and after waving goodbye, a very tired Bernie and Mr. Roadrunner begin the long trek home. Did you see those signs did you see these signs out in the lobby when you first walked in? It says there's no poop fairy? No, there's not. Oh, yeah, you have one. Excellent. I think you should all take one of those signs home. So, what did you think of today's adventure, Mr. Roadrunner? Asked Bernie. It was awesome, says Mr. Roadrunner. Bernie smiles and just nods her head with approval. Same time and place tomorrow, buddy? I will wake you up then, friend, exclaimed Mr. Roadrunner. The two continued down the path side by side and happy that they had another gorgeous day in Bernalillo County. They met friends, shared fun experiences, and learned a whole lot of new and interesting things on this adventure. The end. Thank you. So it's very exciting. Every single one of you is going to get to take one of these books home, and you can read it with your families. And in the back, you will see there's this map. And all of these places listed on the map are open spaces, so places that have been protected, so they're open and beautiful, and you can go there with your families for free and learn things and get some exercise and just appreciate some of the absolutely incredible beauty of the place where you live here in Bernalillo County. So,
I don't have a map.
well, your book will have a map. You'll get to take this home. And then you and your family can visit these places. So that's the end of the book. There are some questions in the back that you can read and then ask us if you don't know the answers. But again, it is just such a privilege for me to be here with you. I'm really glad that you came. Really have a lot of respect for you for the amazing effort you put into your reading. Just want to encourage you to keep doing it. And I look forward to seeing you around Bernalillo County sometime.